Good morning. I'm Randy. I'm the Chief Audio Man. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. We have 55 subscribers, not 5,500, not 550, not 55,000, 55. That means we could fit everyone in my house, probably. So, subscribe if you would. There's a lot of videos out there already, and I think I can bring you some value. So what are we talking about today? Well, today we're talking about the Elac Debut Reference versus the Elac Unifi UB5s. Now, it's the first generation. There is a second generation out there. So if you're so inclined, grab a cup of coffee, sit down, and let's talk about audio. Oh, that's good. It's just the right temperature. Okay. So this speaker's been out, I think, for maybe 5 years. Both these speakers are designed by Andrew Jones. He worked at Pioneer and Elac, and he's known to make a great speaker for a little bit of money, lower monies. Okay, so this one has been out less long than this one has. Let's talk about build quality. If you're into the looks of a speaker, I don't think anybody would argue that this is probably the better looking speaker. And I would agree with that. Let's talk about their cost too. $600. Originally this one was $600 too. There's a stark difference in how these speakers look. Okay? This one looks nice. This one looks like it cost $600. This one does not look like it cost $600. If you know anything about the Elac Debut B5, this one looks pretty much almost identical to it. Vinyl wrap that looks like wood. This, you might even be able to see this. This is coming off a bit. And just, if I'm spending $600 on a pair of speakers, I don't want this. The second generation of the Debut B6, B6.2, B5.2, they're out. I have those. I've done a couple other videos about them. Their finish is way better than this. This finish was exactly like the Elac Debut first generation B6, which makes sense. These are all the first generation. So I'm sure they use the same manufacturer, same everything. But the wrap's not so good on these. Now I can fix it. And do I really care about the wrap? No, I'm just telling you, way better. Second gen, way better. Now I haven't seen the second gen Unifi UB5s yet, which would be the Unifi UB5.2, but I'm hoping, and I would assume that it uses the same wrap and same covering as the Debut second generation. Okay. So let's listen to them. We're going to do a little speaker tap. That tells you how inert a cabinet is. Inert means it's not going to mess with your frequency response as much. So, okay. So actually, the UB5 actually seems more inert. About the same on the sides. Top. Higher pitch means it is braced better. Both of these are braced way better than the RP600M by Clips. All right, so let's take a look. This is front ported. This is, okay, I'm getting everything messed up here. Oh, it's hot. That's rear ported. What does that mean? It means you can get these ones closer to the wall. However, I would say, and I'll get into the sound quality here in a little bit, that it doesn't matter as much as you'd think. I'm spilling my coffee everywhere. My goodness. They have different drivers. This is actually a three-way. So it's a 5-inch driver in the bass, 4-inch mid-range, and then a 1-inch tweeter in the middle of the mid-range driver. This is a two-way. 6, maybe 6.5, but when I measure it, it's more like 6. and then a 1-inch tweeter. All right, so looks, that's subjective. Build quality, I don't really think build quality is subjective. This one's not built as well as the reference, even remotely. Okay, let's talk about the low end. Low end on both of these is very good, very good. I was very surprised with the UB5s. I've had them, I own them. I got them as kind of an open box from Elac USA. Elac USA has a really good outlet, and you can often get things way cheaper than what they are retail. Open box, maybe refurbished, things like that. Anyway, it comes with the regular manufacturer's warranty, so what do you got to lose? I'll tell you what, you got nothing to lose and everything to gain, because then you have extra money to spend on other stuff. So low end on both of these, neither one of them is boomy. You know, if you get this one right up against the wall, it's going to be boomy. You can get this one closer to the wall. It's going to get boomy though, because it has very, very good bass response. So about equal positions. I listen to them equally distanced from the wall, about 18 inches. Both the low end sounded very good. Very, very good. This one's not boomy. They're both tight. They're both full. They're both accurate, in my opinion. So they both sound great. Mids. Let's see. On the mids, I would give the win actually to the UB5s, and not simply because it's way better. It just seems more accurate across the mid-range. I would say on the Debut Reference, there is a slight... There's kind of a hole. So the lower mids are good, and then the middle mids kind of feels like it dips a bit, and then the upper mids come back. They're both great. They're both very good. Female vocals sound a little bit better on the Reference, and I don't think it's necessarily due to frequency response. Let me walk that back. I think it has everything to do with frequency response, because I think there's a dip in the frequency right before you get to the female vocals. This is just smooth all the way across. Very smooth, very good tone. Just smooth. And it's probably because there's 3 drivers to work with. All right, top end. Again, this is going to be a recurring theme for the UB5s. They're very linear. I think they're very good across the board, very well balanced. More balanced than the Reference. But the Reference is still really good. And that kind of leads me into the fun factor. Here is where these speakers start to really differentiate. So if bass is a tie, which I think it is, mids for accuracy I think go to the UB5. I'm not saying these don't sound good, they sound phenomenal. But that leads me into what I'm going to call the fun factor. And what is the fun factor? Well, to me, fun factor is soundstage. To me, fun factor is imaging. Fun factor is the things that a speaker does that other speakers don't. Fun factor goes to the Reference. So I'm going to do a video that compares the Debut B6 first gen versus the B6.2 second gen versus this one. They all have the same size drivers. So I think it's a good comparison. The first generation of Debut B6 was absolutely a blast. I have them. They're in my room right now, and they're a lot of fun. I use them in home theater applications and in music applications when when I just want to listen to music and relax and things, I just turn them on. That speaker throws a ginormous soundstage. Up, down, wide, deep. It's everywhere. Is it the most accurate speaker on the planet? Absolutely not. But it's a heck of a lot of fun. And while it's not as uncontrolled and out of control as the first one, this has a lot of that. And I don't know what Andrew Jones is doing to speakers, if he's an alchemist, if there's some sort of sorcery involved with, I don't know, infusing the drivers with unicorn tears. but they're freaking amazing. I mean, just amazing when it comes to soundstage and imaging and just a different experience. These sound fantastic. What these don't do is that kind of X factor. I was listening to, shocking, Metallica S&M2 with the San Francisco Symphony Orchestra. These put me literally in the music. I was listening to Nirvana Unplugged. Put me right there. I mean, right there. I'm not saying that this is probably the more accurate speaker, but this one just sticks you right in it. And some YouTubers will talk about the speakers disappearing, and absolutely 100% worth the reference. With the UB5s, I felt like the music was coming from the speakers. Soundstage, definite win. Imaging, I still think this is the win. Fun factor, this is the win. Putting you in the music, this is the win. However, these can be had on Elac USA outlet for I think $350 right now. And that's what I originally bought mine for, probably, I don't know, 8 months ago, maybe. I bought these for $350. They're being discontinued though. There is a UB5, Unifi UB5.2. And I would be curious to see how they match up. They're both front ported. I will say though that it doesn't sound like this is front ported. It just sounds really good. I don't think this one is as accurate, especially in the mid-range, but I don't care. I mean, it sounds amazing. It sounds absolutely pinpoint clear. And I think the top end may have a slight bump, but it is not shrill, it's not fatiguing, it's not any of the bad things that can be associated with having a bump in the highs. It's just really good. So the big win goes to the reference. At $600, in my opinion, there's no contest. The reference is far and away the better speaker. If you want extreme, nice, wonderful linear response, maybe leaning towards a warmer kind of sound signature, Unifi. But if you've got $600 to spend, I would go with this one, unless you've just heard this and you just love it. It's a great speaker. I use it a lot. It does soundstage. It does image well. It does all these things. This one just does it better, way better. Gets you, this is more of a live performance like listening experience. I think Andrew Jones is just killing it with these speakers, with all of his speakers. And to try to pick a winner between his speakers is very difficult. Right now, I think these are the best value in audio. I am going to be looking at getting the Fluence. It's a $200 speaker. Thinking about getting Sony, which is like a $120 speaker. My daughter has a Polk S15 that I got her. So we'll kind of be doing some lower level speaker comparisons. But for the $500-600 range, this one, every day of the week. Unless you can get both. If you can get both, then great. Different flavors. I like different flavors. I've said that before. I like different flavors of speakers. And the cool thing about bookshelves is you can put them in a closet. They don't take up the entire closet. You could put them anywhere where your speaker will fit. But that gives you the opportunity to bring out different speakers at different times, reset your brain, enjoy those new speakers, and then bring in your other speakers. And it's like having a new speaker. And everybody loves new speakers. So with that, I'm Randy. I'm the Cheap Audio Man. Please subscribe. Please like the video. And enjoy the music. Sit down. Don't worry about your equipment. Don't worry about how much it costs. Sit down and have a good time listening.